Are people relying too heavily on AI? It's a question I was posed recently, and it's top of mind at the moment. And the reason I want to discuss this is because I spent all day yesterday with a network of principals, and we're all writing our strategic and our school excellence plans for 2025. And the curious thing about this was and the curious thing about this is most principals you talk to hate that process. They see it as pointless. They see this planning as just a accountability document, whereas it's trying to be shifted into a different lens, but that's a different story. But the curious thing about this was I was the only one who was leveraging AI in that room full of principals and deputy principals. I'd actually built a AI bot that was dedicated for strategic planning. It was dedicated, its knowledge bank, on the resources that were required to effectively plan. And it was curious when I received this question of people relying too heavily on AI. And the gut instinct I get right now is no. But there's a caveat to that. I suppose it's what is the intention of the use of AI? If the intention is to cheat, if the intention is to shortcut a meaningful process, okay. Well, yeah, we're doing it for the wrong reasons. However, there was a recent study that was debunking that we've seen an increase in cheating through the use of AI, because people who were cheating before in education space were already cheating. People who were not cheating aren't cheating with AI. They might be using it to improve their workflow, improve efficiencies, and clarify their thinking. However, not necessarily dedicated to cheating. So when we got that question, are people relying too heavily on AI? It depends on what the use case is. But in the context of education, educational leadership, no. We're only just getting started. There's barely anyone actually using it to its full capacity. And when I showed the PSL, which is the Principal Learning Support Leader, she basically is helping other principals write their strategic improvement plans. And I showed her what I've built, and she's like, oh wow, this is amazing. I'm going to bring you on the road with me. So I might be partnering with her to build this bot out a little bit more detailed, so then she can roll it out to the rest of the state. So it just improves the efficiency of the program and the writing that principals have to do, or deputy principals have to do. But then we can actually make it a usable, workable document rather than just another bookshelf warmer. So when we're using AI, we got to think, what is the intention here? Are we trying to shortcut a process? Are we trying to improve our efficiency? Are we trying to just meet an accountability check mark? What is the point of using it? Because the other sides of things, I've been trying to use it to effectively plan a holiday in Europe, and it's giving me some reasonable responses. But until I can get ChatGPT tasks or an AI agent to start the process of actually booking my holiday, finding flights, booking accommodation, booking hire vehicle, all that kind of stuff, well, I'm definitely not overusing it, because it's just giving me a guideline of where I should be looking rather than taking action on all these tasks. And that's coming. People are using it already. I just haven't dived into that world just yet. So curious conversations, and especially in that education space, because there's lots of concerns that there's been a huge spike, an increase in students using AI, which is because it's becoming integrated into the platforms they are most familiar with, Snapchat, CapCut, all the different platforms that you use for social media. It's actually being embedded in it. So it's a natural interface. So they're unintentionally using it, and it's just improving whatever experiences they have. So it's just obviously they're designed to keep people on the apps. So that can probably lead down this pathway where we've got negative side effects that we're not necessarily seeing. But in regards to educational context of planning, developing, no, not yet. There's another AI that we are testing at the moment for our stage 6 advanced English classes, and I'm about to go check it out in the class today, which is all about tutoring. It's explicit feedback at a really high academic level, but it breaks it down at where that student is and gives them incremental improvement suggestions and feedback on their writing. And it's like having a tutor in your laptop, because it's ultimately trying to compete against the elite schools that do have experienced tutors that are teaching and tutoring their students each afternoon at exorbitant prices. And this AI is designed to combat that and bridge that digital divide and that learning divide between the haves and the have-nots. So there's some really cool use cases in the AI space and what we're seeing in education, and it's still yet underutilized. The data is actually saying that more students are actually picking it up, and slowly more teachers are picking it up because they can actually start seeing the impact and the positive impact that it's having. But there's still conflictual arguments about, is it actually helping or is it not? So, no, we're not using it too much just yet, but that's my opinion. I'm going to leave it there. Remember, effort equals results. I will see you in the next one.